This has been one of the craziest weeks in NBA 2K history, and let me tell you, I don't think we're anywhere near the end. We're going to cover the new update for NBA 2K26 in this video. Make sure you guys like, make sure you drop a sub. Again, we are a new channel, we are trying to grow, so it's real quick, take you 3 seconds. Go down there, click that sub button, leave a like, and I really appreciate you. But we're going to go ahead and get into the news. I don't want to waste you guys' time. So if you did not know, the patch, and I mean the patch, finally dropped for NBA 2K26. This is the one that's really going to give us the real version of 2K26. We've basically been playing a beta this entire time. But this patch has a community all over the place. Some people hate it, some people love it. But looking at the patch notes, we're going to talk about the gameplay specifically, because that's the most important thing. So the first thing says they adjusted the shot contest logic to reduce inappropriately high coverage scores, aka ghost contests, when not actively contesting shots. And this is amazing because they did do the patch to kind of help with the whole 7-4s, but that reintroduced ghost contests back into the game. So this is basically reversing what they did last time, which is good because who the heck wants ghost contests? I mean, I am saying that, but apparently most of the NBA 2K community does want ghost contests because y'all voted to be able to contest people without putting a hand up. But that's neither here nor there. Let's move on. They also made it so the random button alley-oop finishing is now limited to Hall of Fame and competitive online modes. So basically like your ante-up, your pro-am, proving grounds, all the stuff that's on Hall of Fame will still have the random button alley-oops, but the rec, the park, stuff like that, the theater will all have basically a single button, which is most likely going to be square on PlayStation. Basically how it's been in previous 2Ks, which, I mean, I'm okay with this change. It wasn't really difficult, in my opinion, to just click the button because it popped up and you had a decent amount of time if you had to high dunk. But I guess this makes it easier. It kind of makes sense considering that the rec and park and stuff like that are basically on like Superstar, almost rookie sliders. So let's just make it easier for the casuals, I guess. And this is a huge one. They increased the difficulty of making pull-up fadeaway jump shots based on community feedback. So basically, they have nerfed you guys' fades. The mid-range fades, the tempo fades in the corner, those have been nerfed. And thank you, Mike Wang, because that was getting so annoying. And this combined with something else we're going to talk about in just a second is probably going to make a lot of you guys irrelevant in this game because you depended on those fades. But moving on, they improved the reliability of rhythm shooting inputs to ensure timing and tempo register consistently. And this is huge. If you guys have been to any of my live streams, you know that I was suffering from this greatly. I rhythm shoot. I learned how to rhythm shoot last year and I still rhythm shoot to this day because it just feels better for me. And I spent so much damn time last year practicing it, I'm not going back to the button. And the amount of times that I would get a timing out of a rhythm shot was actually so irritating to the point where I did stop playing the game for a little bit. If I took 10 jump shots, probably 3 to 4 of them would end up going timing. And that was just super annoying for multiple reasons, but like 2K, why was that even in the game? They have also slightly tightened rhythm shooting windows for both tempo and timing. And I saw a lot of people on Twitter like jumping for joy that tempo shooting has been patched and blah, 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 blah. But if you read it, they did it to both tempo and timing. So I feel like the guys who actually got good at tempo shooting aren't really going to be affected at this. But if you guys were complaining that timing wasn't easy, it's only going to be harder for you guys. So I don't really want to hear anybody complaining about how timing is so difficult compared to tempo shooting because you asked for this. All you guys complaining about tempo shooting, this is why it was adjusted. They also finally fixed blur. They basically adjusted the takeover effect so dunking boost now applies correctly to poster machine instead of the blur takeover. And if you guys didn't know, basically the blur takeover was broken. It had the boost to dunking that was supposed to be inside of just poster machine also inside of blur. Blur is only supposed to make it so you can blow past people easily, but you could also blow past people and basically not miss any kind of dunk, which was insane. There was a lot of clips on Twitter of people just dunking on 3 or 4 people and the entire meter was green. Like literally impossible to miss. And this last bullet point is huge. Again, this mixed with the difficulty to fadeaways is going to kill some of you guys' gameplay. They added more reliable ball collision detection when dribbling into defenders and during blitz steal attempts. So basically, all you dribble gods that just dribble back and forth, that pray for a crab just so you can go ahead and shoot a pull-up 3, or you can dribble and go fade in the corner, that's not gonna be happening as easy anymore. I feel like with this right here, they finally turned defense on. And for me, I'm really excited about that because it did get annoying. A lot of times you would go for steals, you would swipe, and the ball would literally just phase through your hands like your Danny Phantom. And you would think that that would be inciting for the entire 2K community, but no, you would be mistaken. As you can see from this tweet by Brutal Sim himself, you don't know who that is, another 2K content creator. He said this patch is just wow. Hashtag NBA 2K26, be careful what you ask for. And I can almost guarantee he's referring to the steals. And Garcelle, another NBA 2K content creator, tweeted this right after the release. Please remove bump steals, please remove bump steals, please remove bump steals, please remove bump steals, please remove bump steals. And as you can see, there is a theme. Bump steals are now considered OP. And if you don't believe what I'm saying, let's go ahead and watch this video from Hank the Tank himself. So basically, you can see that they're in the MyCareer going back and forth, just kind of stealing the ball and seeing what the whole blitz steal thing was about. And it looks like they're really just kind of getting a steal at any kind of dribble move. And that's kind of what I've seen across community. People are saying that it's just super easy to get steals, like the ball's just coming loose. But in my opinion, if you're dribbling into someone, the ball should come loose every single time. The whole point of dribbling and using dribble moves is to create space. So if you're dribbling and there's no space in front of you, you should lose the ball, especially if you don't have high unpluckable and the person guarding you has really high defense. Pluck steals, very different story. No one should easily be getting pluck steals unless they have a high steal, but bump steals, blitz steals, stuff like that. If I'm in position and you're dribbling into me, I am a physical body. There is a thing there, so the ball should just bounce off of me every single time. But let me know what y'all think about that in the comments below. I, for one, have not played the patch yet. I'm actually gonna be streaming tonight live. If you're watching this, I'm actually probably live right now, so go ahead and jump into the stream. But I have not experienced this for myself. I'm just going based off of what I know in the past. But again, we really can't even complain that this is OP because you guys know how 2K is. This happens every single year, specifically with steals. Steals are really bad. We can't get them. We ask them to buff them, and then it goes crazy. Or the opposite, steals are OP. We ask them to nerf it, and then we can't get any steals. Since 2K started making the game with the park, they've never been able to easily adjust any issue. It's always been one extreme to the other. And what's even crazier about this patch is in the same day the patch released, Mike Wang tweeted out that they were going to be reversing something that happened in the patch. So basically with rhythm shooting, there was supposed to be a feature that I actually did enjoy when the game first launched, that you would be able to either speed up or slow down your jump shot depending on how you flick the stick. And for me, in the beginning of the game, I felt like that was making it easier to kind of predict how the shot was going to go. So you didn't have those random speed ups and slow downs like you do when you're doing the button shooting. But apparently that is what's causing the hitch in rhythm shooting. And a lot of people were complaining about that hitch. Now again, for me, I didn't really notice it when the game first launched. Apparently this was the same hitch we had back then. So I don't know if this is actually a really big issue. Also, I do the no-dip shooting whenever I'm catching shooting, so I really never felt this hitch. But apparently it was big enough for them to revert a setting the same day of a patch. I'm not gonna lie, in my history of 2K, I don't think I've ever seen that happen. And in doing that, another video from Garcelle himself, apparently it made it so you can now fade threes again. Take a look at this video.
Again, with Pro 2 being like that, you can fade threes again. On cap. I'm doing it now.
And there you have it. I guess all that work into making fading threes is out the window. However, again, remember that steals were buffed right now, so it should be easier to defend this. But apparently the reason why this is easy again is because they took away that hitch, and I guess the hitch was making it harder to hit it. So I don't know. You guys tell me in the comments, do you think the fading threes is just as easy? Are the fading threes back after maybe, what, 12 hours of it being nerfed? Again, I'm streaming tonight, and I'll be able to find out for myself. However, the benefit for how I play is I never depended on fading threes or even fading in the mid-range too much for the way that I score, so this really doesn't affect me either way it goes. So I'm cool with it. And one last thing I do want to make you guys aware of, because this actually does affect me greatly because I did not take advantage of it while it was a thing, and I'm so upset about it. If you did not know, the quickest way to get your build specialization for shooting was to do the jump shots inside of the practice arena. So basically what you would do is you would go to the coach, you do a drill, you would take one jump shot, quit the drill, go back to the coach, and keep doing that until you got to your 1,000 or 500 or whatever you needed. But 2K went out of the way to patch this method, and I don't understand it.
2K really patched this shit. That shit gone. I'm at 93s right now. We're gonna go over here, we're gonna start the drill. Oh my God, bro, it's gone.
I guess maybe you can call this an exploit, but not really. I feel like it's just as easy as putting the game on 12-minute quarters and putting it on rookie. You're gonna get up a whole bunch of threes in around the same amount of time. This was just a little bit quicker. And it was only for like 2 or 3 of the build specializations. So for 2K to go out of their way to patch this, to me, is kind of crazy because there's still tons of cheaters out there and they ain't even worried about that. But they want to make it hard to get the build specializations. That doesn't really make sense for me, 2K. Mike Wang, I ain't gonna lie, this is a big L. And lastly, for the news this week, this is actually something super cool that I didn't really think of, but I think it would be fire, but I understand why 2K wouldn't do it. I'm not sure if they came up with the idea, but 2K Intel tweeted that we should have a custom community shoe tab in NBA 2K26. And I think that would be crazy if we could go ahead and make custom shoes and then people could buy them and then we would receive the VC for the ones that are bought. It would be fire. I remember back in the day, 2K used to have the custom shirts. Now, there was a ton of reasons why those shirts were taken out of the game, mostly because you 2K freakazoids were putting Rachel in a bikini on those t-shirts. But with the shoes, you're really not going to be uploading custom images. So if you could just create ones and people could buy them, that would be dope. But 2K is not going to do that because, one, that's a way for us to get more VC, and they want us to buy it. And I'm not really sure how copywriting is and stuff like that when it comes to selling shoes, even though it's for virtual currency. Not really sure how that works legally, but I think this would be a fire idea. Comment down below, chat. Let me know if you think this would be dope, if you want to see something like this. Y'all need to make sure y'all comment. Mike Wang do be in the comments. I promise you, he's going to see this. And lastly, again, make sure you guys drop a like, make sure you subscribe and have the notices on. Tomorrow, I'm going to be going over all the season 2 rewards. And again, if you are watching this video, I am currently live streaming, so go ahead, click the link down below to join me on Twitch, or I'm probably live on this channel. So come say hi. If you want to run with me, join the Discord, join the live. I'm looking for people to run with. But as always, I appreciate y'all, love y'all, and I'm gonna see y'all on the next one. But for now, I'm out of here.